Y'all still bills? What's the deal, man? It's a motherfucking Friday morning. I'm heading out to the plantation to do my due diligence and get the fuck up off of work. Pretty early in the day, hopefully, man. But peep game, man. We got to rap about this, man. And that is this upcoming fight this week with Vasily Lomachenko and Jermaine Ortiz, man. I'm excited about the fight because y'all know Loma's my guy. Loma turned into my guy after he beat Jorge Linares, man. Like I said before, I wasn't the biggest Lomachenko fan. I've honestly never thought he was number one on the pound for pound list. I never thought that, but he was damn sure top 5. I don't even think that could be argued. Not rightfully, no logically thinking personally. Like, what was that, round 2 before he fought Teofimo Lopez? Anybody who was saying that he's not top 5 pound for pound was clearly a nigga who ain't know what the fuck they was talking about. I never rated him at number 1 pound for pound, though. I never had him at that. I always thought that spot was reserved for Canelo Alvarez and Bud. But nonetheless, that's my guy now, man. I did feel like they put a little bit more into his career than they did Bob Arum did. I wasn't, that's what really was bothering me. I remember they canceled a Bud fight due to lack of promotion. That really set me off, man, and that kind of put me, that kind of rotted the Lomachenko name for me. I was like, man, nah, man, I'm good. But after so many years, you gotta really, all right, man, this dude is special. This fucking guy is special, man. So I officially became a fan after he stopped Jorge Linares. I was like, all right, man, I can't even do it no more. I was always trying to find something. He got exposed when he fought the Miriaga, I think that was his name, and he got cut or whatever. I was always looking for something to say, negatively about him. But that shit has changed, man. That's a bad motherfucker, man. So I'm happy to see him return to the ring. So let's get into the breakdown, man. Jermaine Ortiz, man, they got him listed at about 5'8", to Lomachenko's 5'7". He looks a little bit taller than 5'8". I'm 5'8". He looks a little bit taller than that, man. He's lengthy. And one thing that I know, he's real fast on his feet. He has real intelligent feet, man. He can spin you around. He can cut, punch off of the angles. Circle jab, all that shit is there, man. I saw somebody with real intelligent feet, man. I saw switch hitting because I was watching this fight last night with Jamel Herring. And I saw switch hitting. I saw a really good, a real good in and out game. I think the kid is nice. I honestly think he's nice. He's athletic. He's explosive. I don't think he has the biggest, I don't think he packs the biggest punch. But it's respectable power. It's respectable power, man. I'm excited for the fight. I'm gonna just keep shit in stack with you, man. I'm really excited to see this fight. I'm really excited to see Lomachenko get back in the ring. But I think this is a game opponent. I don't think he's coming in there to lose. I damn sure don't think that. But unfortunately, that is what's going to happen. He's gonna lose. But one thing I've noticed, with his peep game, man. It was a Punch Perfect boxing channel. He said it best. Jermaine Ortiz is good, man, but he's not special. Shakur Stevenson, being the special fighter that he was able to get rid of Jamel Herring. He moved up and did it. He went 10 with him. He went 10. All 10. Jamel never touched the canvas. And Jamel was looking a little bit, he was looking a little bit aged in that fight. He wasn't as sharp and as quick on the counters. He was, he seemed to be gassed early on in the fight, maybe around about the mid-rounds. That was a recipe for disaster at least it should have been a recipe for disaster. He should have been able to go in there and step on dude and peace out and, on to the next, but he wasn't. even one thing that I've noticed, like with the angles that he was cutting, and this is nitpicking, man, but once you get at a certain level, you have to nitpick shit, because at the smallest and most minute detail, that shit matters and it can be exploited. But his angles aren't nearly as complex as Lomachenko's angles. And what I mean by that is, when Jermaine Ortiz would cut those angles, Jamel Herring was always able to pivot out and, reset and be right back in front of him with no panic. There was no panic to him, man. He just, spin out with him and he'd be right back in front of him. He wasn't having success with it. He wasn't able to punish him, after he'd spin out, where he just spin out right in front of him so he couldn't score. It's a bit of a sense of urgency and a panic whenever Lomachenko when he cuts those angles on the fighters that he fights. He's a lot faster on his feet. His rhythm is different. That's one thing, you would see, and Tim Bradley was saying that shit in the fight, as the fight was going on with Ortiz. He fought in the same rhythm. He'd get out. He was dropping, he was fighting with his hands low. Usually when fighters drop their hands and just completely abandon their guard, that's a sign of good, they're in a rhythm. They have your timing down. And not only do they have your timing down, their reflexes are so good to where they can exploit having your timing down. Like Sergio Martinez. All right, cool. My guard is dropping, I'm inviting you in so you can step in and I can punish you for the, when you step in. I saw that, but his attack was the same. I didn't really see, him jabbing to the body or nothing like that. And he should, in those situations you don't need to, because you're already dominating the fight. So it's understandable. But I'm looking and I'm like, Lomachenko would have been able to do this. Lomachenko would have been able to do that. That's what I'm seeing when I'm looking at Jermaine Ortiz. I'm like, so. And I think he could be outfought in the clinch. When he's at a comfortable range to where he can work behind his straight shots, I feel like that's when he's in it. That's when he's at his best. He's in a rhythm. He can stay at that distance and dictate the pace of the fight and pick you off from a distance. His best shots that he landed were his straight shots. Those were his best shots. Just 1-2 at distance. Either from the southpaw or the conventional stance, man. I thought he was nice, bro. I thought he was nice. I thought he was dope, man. But I just think he could be outfought in the clinch. And Loma is already he's an aggressive fighter. He's a come forward fighter. He's not looking to fight off the back foot. He's looking to walk you down and spin you. And spin you and turn you and spin you and turn you and frustrate you and get you to quit on your stool. So when I look at Lomachenko, and I'm looking at everything Lomachenko would have been able to done to Jamel Herring if that was him in their fight. I'm looking at the past two Lomachenko bouts since the Teofimo Lopez loss, and I'm like, this Lomachenko is different. This is a more aggressive Lomachenko. This ain't a Lomachenko that's looking to wait till the mid rounds to step on the gas. You dig? Because I think that was always his biggest problem, him being a slow starter. But with him being a slow starter, that builds confidence in a fighter. That builds confidence. They're able to open up in exchanges with you. They're able to touch you, touch the glove, an occasional shot split the guard, get to the body. It was a confidence building thing with them, and they could, you allowing them to stay in the fight because you're trying to, slowly break them down and rot them and decay their defense. It builds confidence, and when that confidence builds up, that can equate to you losing rounds. And he finally figured that out with Teofimo Lopez. I'm not about to keep waiting this long. I'm not about to, we're not doing that. So I just think I just think Lomachenko would have went in there, and from from round one, it would have been, you know, balls to the wall. I'm about to punish this dude. And that's no shot at my man Jamel neither, man. I don't, you know, that's no slight at him at all. But I just think, you know, Lomachenko would have went in there and really went to work. And the things that like, he'd have pressed the gas a little bit more. And I think he's a bigger puncher than Jermaine Ortiz. I think he's a bigger puncher. For him to, you know, batter Nakatani the way that he did, and Richard Comey in the manner that he did, I think they're a little bit, you know, they're a lot more acclimated to the division than Jamel Herring. They fight a little bit better at 135 pounds than Jamel Herring. Jamel Herring had his biggest success at 130. They're a little bit more, they're more acclimated to the division. They can, you know, they can withstand that 5-pound weight gain. They can withstand the punches that are coming at them, and they can give, you know, they can fight at that level, and maintain a specific pace at that weight. Whereas Jamel looked to be dissipated at that weight, even though he started at that weight. So I'm just looking at everything Jermaine Ortiz was doing and everything that he wasn't able to do, and I'm like, Lomachenko would have been able to do that. Lomachenko would have been able to at least drop Jamel Herring. Lomachenko would have been able to at least hurt Jamel Herring. He'd have been able to do a lot of that, and Jermaine couldn't make it happen. And that's no slight to him, because not everybody is Lomachenko. But I just feel like because of that, what I'm seeing, I'm like, I don't really see Jermaine Ortiz giving Lomachenko that much resistance. I don't see it at all. I don't see it at all. I think Lomachenko has the better feet, even though he has good feet. I think Lomachenko has the better feet. I think he's faster on his feet. I think he's a lot more complex with his feet, where he doesn't do anything different than Lomachenko. Lomachenko is just how he does it. He doesn't just step to the side of you. He's stepping completely to the side of you and forcing you to reset to the point where you're in a panic, you're in a frenzy trying to reset and get back in front of him so you can see where the shot, at least have a visual on him so you can try to see where the shots is coming from. Ortiz did not create that same panic off of those angles. And that is really, really a highlight in this fight. The feet, I think Ortiz had him and switch hit him or whatever. Yeah, because, I mean, he's a switch hitter. He's good. He's a good switch hitter. He's a good switch hitter. I don't see him switching to southpaw, though. I don't see him switching to southpaw. I think he'll try to keep that conventional. What a lot of people don't understand is, yeah, southpaws have an advantage. Southpaws have an advantage going into fights because it's far more conventional fighters and righties than southpaws. But as a righty, you have that same advantage that southpaws have. You have that same advantage. You have the lead foot, the opportunity to win lead foot advantage. You have the opportunity to spin out to their lead hand, circle jab to their lead hand, spin him out, turn him. You have the advantage to do all of that. You have the advantage to throw that left hook. The left hook is a little bit closer. So you ain't got to pump the jab. You'd have a lot more success hooking off the jab or feinting the jab and bringing a hook around. You have those same physical advantages going into a fight with a southpaw that the southpaw has going into the fight with you. Outside of the fact that you don't see the southpaw more often, as often. I mean, so I don't think he's going to switch to southpaw. I don't think he's going to switch to southpaw because he's not going to out southpaw the baddest southpaw on the planet. So I think he'll stay conventional, and when that happens, I see him getting spun around like a ballerina. Do I want to say he gets stopped? I'm not so sure. I'm not even making that prediction. And what I will say is this: because people keep regurgitating this talking point. If Lomachenko is who he was when he fought Nakatani and Richard Comey, or even Teofimo Lopez in the later stages of the fight. If he's still that, because I haven't really seen a war-torn Lomachenko. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a Lomachenko that's, oh man, the war. We don't know because we haven't seen him fight since the war. But Pre-war, everybody kept talking about age, man. He this and that and the third. He all right, cool. We'll see. That's the advantages of now. Granted, his style is it's a high energy style. It's it's a style that's kind of made for younger fighters or whatever, where they press the action. They look to walk you down and really just become front foot dominant. I get all that, man, but that's why you spend those early years developing your brain, your boxing IQ. So it's easier to get somebody else's timing down. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't have to rely on your reflexes as much and your athleticism as much, because once that shit starts to dissipate, you're using this. So I think, with that long, extensive amateur pedigree, that's what he's done. That's why it took him so long to turn pro. So he has that extensive amateur pedigree, and his boxing brain is expanded or whatever. So now he's in a position where he doesn't, he still relies on his athletic abilities, but it's also IQ in there. They always say that, man. His computer is just a little bit faster than everybody's. Dre and Tim Bradley, his computer is ridiculous. It's past ridiculous. So I just think, I just think he's gonna go in there and do the damn thing, man. I just think really people are dragging out this goddamn his age, because he's yet to show signs of wear and tear. We'll see what it is tomorrow, but he's yet to show signs of wear and tear. He's yet to show signs of wear and tear. So that's just what it is, man. I got Lomachenko winning this fight. If not by knockout, then a unanimous decision. I do think Ortiz is in there to lose the fight. I do think they matched him up carefully. They gave him a fighter who's capable enough to give him resistance, but not the resistance that, to the point where it would just completely neutralize his offense. Nah, he's getting in there with a game opponent, but the game, it's like, all right, cool. It's like the game is on medium. The difficulty of the game is on medium, and not hard. It ain't like it's Halo with all the skulls on lock. You know what I'm saying? It's on medium. It ain't gonna be easy. You can't sit back on the couch and play this game. You can't lay down on the couch while playing this game. Nah, you definitely got to sit up and be at attention. And you know what I'm saying? Hit this game, you can't be relaxed. You got to be on your toes. That's the type of fight that this is, man. And we really gonna see Lomachenko go in there and put a stamp on his fight and let Devin Haney know, I'm coming for them belts, and gear up to a pay-per-view bout between the two of them next year. So that's how I'm feeling about this fight, man. I got Lomachenko winning. Unanimous 12-round decision. I don't know. I don't know if he'll knock him out, but I wouldn't doubt it, because Nakatani had not been knocked out up until that fight. But even then, Nakatani doesn't have the dexterity and the jab and the feet of the likes of a Jermaine Ortiz. He's been in with the better opposition, but he doesn't have those attributes and skill set at his disposal to rival somebody like a Jermaine Ortiz. So maybe he doesn't batter him the way that he battered Nakatani. But I definitely don't see Lomachenko losing this fight if he's the Lomachenko that we know of, which I think he will be. Just niggas just want to keep dragging that shit, so I'm gonna say it, because it's kind of putting me in a bit of unease and unrest or whatever, man. But yeah, that's how I got this fight. Lomachenko, unanimous decision, maybe knocked out, but Jermaine is hitting the canvas twice, maybe. Deuces.